Hi everyone, here we are again, checking out another watch, which is influenced by another watch, which is this SPB 117, a piece that I highly vouch for, a timepiece that is for everyone, casual check, dressy check, sporty check. But for this episode, we are going to look at Cartier, specifically the Cartier Santos range. I initially wanted to check all of the Tank, Santos, and Ballon Bleu models, but I had a tunnel vision when I saw the Santos. It just felt like the only model that can pass as an everyday watch. And it's just such a classic design. Here are the blue and white dials, and the one with the gold bezel. Here they are at a closer look. I have decided to compare them to this 40mm Panerai since I think it's also something that can pass as an everyday watch, and so we can also see how the 35mm Santos looks. Because if you just decide by looking at their dimension on a paper, 35mm might seem too small. So on hand, it does seem minute, and what I love about this is how the design is fighting between being a dress watch and a casual watch. It's slim, it has no lume, it's polished, and it has a stone on the crown. And my favorite part, the unevenly screwed screws on the bezel and bracelet. I think that is the main design that makes this considerable as a casual watch. And I also love the bracelet. It's like a railway track, which I find unique and interesting. And I don't particularly like this blue dial, because it's harder to tell the time and that defeats the purpose of having it as an everyday watch companion, but it does look a bit more elegant with a blue dial. Now with the gold bezel and gold screws, I do think that if you just really want to add a Cartier in your collection and you love the design of the Santos, for me, this is the watch to go for. And here is the 40mm version. You can clearly see the substantial difference between the two. And for a square watch, 40mm wear big as opposed to a round one. Now this Panerai is also 40mm, but this wears much better than the 40mm Cartier, and the pin lugs definitely help make it wear smaller. In fact, I prefer this Panerai over the 40mm Cartier, and beside the smaller Cartier, you can have a better sense of how small 35mm is. Here it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. On this angle, it does look like a size that's more preferable for a smaller wrist. If this was round, then I would agree, but having the square case makes it wear more on the side of a 37 to 38mm, and the white dial opens up the whole watch, which tends to make it look bigger. And now the 40mm version. It is doable, but it's pushing the limit, at least for me. And it takes away too much of the dressy vibe, but then it struggles to be a casual watch with that fancy design. And here you can see how smaller it looks with a darker dial. It is now closer to its true size, and it comes off more as a fancy dinner type of watch, which totally eliminates the possibility of it being an everyday watch. And just for comparison, even though this Panerai has a wider dial, it tends to wear better due to its round design, and the black dial helps shrink the look of the watch. That's why on a 40mm watch, I would prefer a round one. And here is a different angle on the wrist. It would still cross your mind that this is big for a 6.5-inch wrist, but if you're choosing between a square 40mm and a round 40mm, a traditional round case definitely wins the match and would be considered as a perfect size that would suit most wrists. I do love this Panerai, but not so much to the point where it would be added to the to consider list. Now let's look at the 35mm Cartier on this angle, because I was absolutely not expecting it to look as good as I think it would. because by looking at it on a bird's eye view, I instantly concluded that it was too small, but I think the square case compensated perfectly, making it wear a lot larger and fit better. It is a nice experience to be able to try it on, but it reassured me that I am happy with my affordable Seiko SPB 117. It ticks the boxes that I want in a semi-dressy watch that is as interesting as the uneven screws and railway track bracelet on the Cartier. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.